Alright, we're back, and I have the first attempt here with the new mic and the helmet here. Pretty excited about it, and so we're going to roll with it. I don't know how good the audio is going to be because I haven't adjusted things just yet. And what we're on here is the S model, or what I've referred to as other things as the farmer's bike, or even the do everything Z. And what I'm noticing with this 320 rotor on the front with just the relocation adapter, gosh, these front brakes are just, I couldn't believe that they're that much more spicy than the SM model. And that's no knock against them. And what's even crazier, this is a KKE rotor. And what I've noticed is, and I'm going to just kind of go through this. This isn't really a review of these KKE wheels with the cushion drive on them, but maybe it is. I've got to go up because I've only put just maybe 150 miles on them so far. But I do have to go back and tighten these spokes just as a maintenance because they're brand spanking new. What I wanted to do though is talk about these, and then also what I'm talking about is we're trying to compare our previous with this Osmo camera. We're trying a ultra wide view, so let me know what you think about this view versus what we've done previously. It might not be a drastic change, but it might be. As I'm talking about it, I haven't seen any footage with the ultra wide, so I don't know. So we're going to find out at the same time if this picks up, the audio picks up, and if everything else works correctly. I'm optimistic, cautiously. But so these KKE wheels, they came, let's see, did they come with it? No, they didn't come with the adapter bracket. However, the rotor came with the adapter bracket. And this type of adapter bracket would be replacing the back part of the caliper, which I wasn't too happy about. So what I did rather was I placed first I made an attempt with the Warp 9 relocation bracket for the two-stroke, the YZ250, and that's a type of bracket where you bolt the caliper to the bracket and you bolt the bracket to the fork tube. I knew that this worked previously, would likely work, because the same setup works for the other adapter. I have a Motormaster bracket that fits both the YZ250 and my 426 or 400. They had the same bolt pattern, and I know that would work. So I thought, well, why wouldn't this adapter work? In which case it did, and it does. So I'm very pleased with that. So if I got the description of it correctly, it is a type 1 adapter bracket. Now that works for the S model fork tubes, the non-inverted, the standard ones, not the SM ones. So there's a little bit of a compromise that goes with that. Not a lot of bit of a compromise. So we're just giving it the rundown. The cushion drive on these KKE wheels were a little bit difficult to get into place because they didn't show up assembled, but I had to get rather brutish with them. I don't know what the longevity is going to be on them. We're going to find out. I may adapt these wheels to work with my SM and run them for a while because, quite frankly, they look good. I think that color scheme with the black and the gold hub would look really good. But I'm going to have to go through and put my S wheels back on this now that I have the new tires on it. But before I do it with it on the bike, I'm going to tighten the spokes and do that general maintenance as I mentioned earlier. There didn't seem to be that much of a hop that you would normally see in the hoop. If you're familiar with such things, there's a welding point between the metal when it was formed, and even the stock wheels can end up with, the stock SM wheels can have kind of a hop in them. So they look like they were pretty stable. So we're going to see after putting some wheelies on it and doing some aggressive, I say aggressive, but a little bit more aggressive braking, like we haven't taken it to the track or anything. But I've gotten kind of hard on it. You can feel them bite. And that might be a combination of the rotor and everything. I don't really know what to attest it to. But let's see how a wheelie will go for it. I don't know if it's the suspension. But it doesn't feel as stable. Yeah, I'm kind of chasing it out a little bit. Just because I'm a little bit cautious. With this setup. Going from the SM to this, there's a noticeable difference. And, maybe the greater reactivity, or quite frankly, this rear suspension. This rear suspension might need to be refreshed. And, I'm not afraid to do that. I guess we ought to pull it up one more time. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. But anyway, these things were such a deal. I was impressed with just how much or how affordable they were. I think the wheels to my door were just a little over $500 for the pair. Now, that's not with any rotors. I went and got the rotors separately. But they came with all the adapters that I needed. I did need to get, I chose to get the cam gear for the front wheel so that our speed pickup is correct. So it's for the SM. It's got a different part number than the S, but it's it keeps my odometer true, and it keeps my speed as accurate as the DRZ dash speedometer can be, which it gets you. It's marginally, it's close enough. So we're there with that on these wheels, but the biggest surpriser, or the most surprising aspect of it, have been just the stock caliper master with this 320 rotor. Very impressive. So I'm very pleased with how that's functioning for me. Overall, it's been what's made this experience, a little bit more confidence inspiring, and it's kind of made me think about doing a more permanent alteration to the SM, my 16, that very well is the gray bike or the doozy. So if it makes that much of a difference in the braking, that might get my friend Jake off my back about doing an upgrade to the brakes, because that may be all I need. I know it'd be a 2-piston or a 2-pot rotor still, and not a 4-pot or 4-piston upgrade. But I think that would be an acceptable upgrade, because I'm not racing, and this is an acceptable amount of braking power for what I'm willing to do. But overall, I'm impressed with these KKE wheels, and hopefully I'm impressed and you're impressed with the camera view and audio that we're getting. Either way, we're going to post this if it's at all legible, or if you can hear it and it's accurate. And we'll just roll with it. And if there's improvements to be made, we will make those improvements, and then we'll share those as well. We being me. So if you like that, I'm going to say thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Make sure and like and subscribe and all that baloney.